was a card, and I said, "What is this?" And then she explained, there's a cow being given in your name to a woman in Peru, and she told me all about the promising forward that, how it goes from one family to another. If the animal gives birth, the family has to promise to give the baby to another family in need. And I was incredibly moved by the gift and by what it represented, because I know the importance of empowering women who are poor in poor countries to have livestock. It can help change everything about their family, but it also made me love my daughter even more that she had that kind of consciousness.
We first started working for Heifer International through Hillary Clinton, who was involved with it and who's a dear friend of ours, and she taught us about it and encouraged us to work for it, and we fell in love with the organization and with the concept of that you give people pairs of animals. They're taught how to care for the animals, and it lifts whole villages out of poverty. I think the most exciting thing about it also is that the animals are not given to places that practice discrimination against women and don't allow women to participate in the profit sharing. So it changes the world and makes it a more just place.
And one of the conditions is that the first animal that is, they get animals that are pregnant, and then that first offspring, that person that had received it will now pass it on to the next neediest person in the village or the town. So they get the nobility of passing it on and giving. So it's absolutely brilliant. And in some cases you can trace 12 generations of that one gift spread out 12 times. It's real.
Yeah, Heifer is so dear to my life and also to my family's life. I grew up working with Heifer, donating to Heifer. My family would donate to them, for members of our family or to their agents or family friends as wedding gifts, as Christmas gifts, birthday gifts since I was a child. So they were always an organization I was familiar with. And then as I grew older, I started participating with them as well because it is so accessible for people. I mean, you can donate something for as little as $20 or as much as $200, depending on what you can give. So that was something that I really responded to, being young. I mean, when you're a young person, you don't necessarily always have that much money, but you still can help. So that was something I really liked. I also really love how you can really see where your money's going. It's something specific. You can say to people, this is a pig that I am giving to you and that will help this family in so and such way. So I really liked that. And Kyle and I actually, for our wedding, in place of favors, we donated to Heifer for each and every guest. So it's really woven into the fabric of my life at this point.
Well, maybe it's I think the accountability of working. Heifer doesn't just drop off a cow and go. I mean, they work together with the community, and they teach them and they train them and they learn how to take care of themselves, and I think that's the best.
I've travelled to Africa this year with my daughter, and it was just to see how something like this, this lovely, privileged, glitzy event, how the funds can get to people that really need it and really appreciate it. It's you go there and you feel so sort of humbled by it. You don't want to seem patronising, like, oh, here we are. But it's really thrilling to see the money actually on the ground helping women and children and everybody, but particularly women.
It's a great cause, and we've Ted Danson and Mayor Steenburgen introduced it to us a number of years ago, but actually we've been kind of a part of it for even longer because my siblings and I gave a gift to my dad. And that's when I first heard about it. I didn't know, but my sister had kind of organized the gift. And so we've known about it for many years, and we just believe so strongly in the cause and the organization. So they've been our friends for many years. Take that one.
I'll take that one. I actually went to Africa with Heifer a couple years ago, and they actually work with a lot of local organizations as well to kind of do a full circle. They don't just work with giving animals. They also work with the local groups to teach AIDS prevention and teach them about business models. So they don't just go in and give them a cow or a goat. They also teach those people how to be healthy, teach them how to, once they get the goat, what do they do with it, And so it's a great organization that works with local groups to teach them to do everything, how to better themselves in general. So it's a great organization.
When I learned about Heifer and how they give animals to families around the world when they're in need, and they teach them the right ways of raising these animals and using them for producing products so that they can eat and survive and live off of these animals, and eventually use them to produce products and sell them and make money and live off of it. Once I knew how well they treated them and how much training goes into these families and these people before they're even allowed to take care of these animals and use them for work, I thought it was an amazing thing that they're doing, and it's so respectable, and I think it's amazing what they're doing, and I really wanted to come here and support and perform tonight.
Well, we're an organization that's been around 70 years, and I think in many ways we're sort of a hidden secret in the development world. So we really believe we have an incredible program, an incredible project that has a real impact on women all over the world to get them out of poverty and hunger. So it's an important thing for us to publicize what we do so that we can get the support, because essentially what we do requires the support for donations so that we can activate and in a way ignite the transformation that's necessary for people to get out of poverty and hunger. So what's the best way of doing it but to actually publicize it with incredible people who are willing to help. So that's why we're here. And Los Angeles plays a good place to start.
So I started off as a clean school student during my graduate program, and I chose to do my public service projects with Heifer in Uganda. And so I was in a field office with them for 10 months, and I did a project where I connected high school students taking agriculture to meet Heifer International farmers who have modern technology, and they had received the livestock and the gifts to kind of pass on that information to the next generation, just about the benefits of farming and how they've been able to succeed thanks to the gifts from Heifer. So that was my introduction, I guess, to Heifer in the field in Uganda, and now I am an intern at headquarters with the East Africa unit.